The Lewis chessmen have been among the most intriguing treasures of medieval Europe, known not only for the exquisite artisanship of the sculpted walrus tusk ivory, but also for how these artworks related to a larger regional economic system, and how they reflected the changing role of the game of chess in medieval society of the 12th century. The collection, known as the Lewis Chessmen, was named for the place of the discovery in the year 1831 at the island of Lewis in the Western Isles of Scotland. In total, 93 pieces were recovered, including 78 chessmen, 14 large gaming counters, and curiously, one elaborately carved belt buckle, all made from walrus tusk ivory. Reportedly, some of the chess pieces retained slight red pigment at the time when they were found in 1831. Indeed, chess pieces and chess boards often were made in red and white oppositions. Through time, the composition of black and white became more popular. During the medieval period, walrus tusks were prized raw materials for producing high-status or elite luxury artworks. The tusk ivory presented a smooth and almost lustrous surface, and the products were extremely durable. The durability, however, posed serious technical issues for sculpting or carving, especially when creating pieces with minute details, as seen in the Lewis chessmen. Among the challenges for the artisans, the action of chiseling into a walrus tusk risked exposing the secondary dentine that filled the pulp cavity of the tusk just beneath the surface. The secondary dentine is a coarse substance, and generally it is considered to be undesirable in artwork, in contrast to the smooth outer surface of the tusk ivory. The secondary dentine is visible on a few small portions of the Lewis chessmen, especially on the underside base, that would be viewable only when a piece was toppled onto its side. At the time when the Lewis chessmen were produced, during the middle through late 1100s, the walrus tusk ivory typically was obtained in Greenland, either from living creatures or from scavenged older carcasses, and then transported to workshops throughout Europe, but especially with connections in Norway. Norway had established colonies in Greenland since about the year 1000, and then the walrus tusk products were traded through various routes, including one route that would have passed through Scotland on the way between Norway and Ireland. The numbers of chess pieces indicated at least a few complete gaming sets, found all together in a collection, leading to some speculation that perhaps the collection belonged to a merchant operating within a broader system. In medieval Europe, chess was a game of leisure and a way to practice tactics and strategy. In some perspectives, medieval knights were encouraged to master the game of chess. In the Disciplina Clericalis, written around 1062 through perhaps 1120, Petrus Alfonsi listed 7 accomplishments of a knight as riding, swimming, archery, boxing, hawking, chess, and verse writing. At the same time, though, the Christian Church of Europe discouraged anyone from playing chess, and the game was outlawed in many places. In the view of the Church, chess, like many games, necessarily distracted people from their more important work, duty, and reverence. Moreover, the games tended to involve gambling, and sometimes men and women would play chess together, evidently scandalous in the view of the Church at the time. These views became significantly more relaxed by about the year 1200, around the same time or perhaps just slightly after the Lewis chessmen. Regarding these individual gaming pieces, the components can be recognized as a medieval European adaptation of the game of chess. The roles of the pieces reflected the hierarchy of European medieval society during the 1100s. The kings held swords across their laps. The queens rested their faces or their chins against their hands. The bishops were dressed for religious service. The knights rode horses. The rooks were shown as infantrymen, whereas the word rook referred to a chariot in the older game that originated in India around the year 500. Some of these infantrymen were biting their shields in a typical representation of berserker warriors at the time. The pawns were abstract, mounded column shapes, sometimes decorated with Northern European flourish, but otherwise copied directly from the Islamic version of the game that first had gained popularity in parts of Europe during the 700s. Most fundamentally, the Lewis chessmen offer a glimpse into what the game of chess looked like in medieval Europe. Furthermore, several other topics could be addressed, including what technical skills were involved in producing the high-status gaming treasure, how the collection may have functioned in a larger regional economic system, and how the gaming pieces reflected people's views of medieval European society at the time. What are your thoughts about the Lewis Chessmen, and what aspects would you like to explore more? Please share your ideas in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.